Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Learning Podcast, the show where we make learning English easy, fun, and practical. I'm Jason, your host.
And I'm Julia, your co-host. Hi, everyone. Today we have an exciting episode because we're talking about something every English learner wants, fluency.
Yes, fluency isn't just about knowing words or grammar. It's about speaking confidently, thinking in English, and making it a natural part of your life.
Exactly, Jason. And the best part is, today we'll share 7 habits that can help you become fluent in English faster than you think.
7 habits, huh? That sounds like a game plan I can follow. But, Julia, I have to ask, can someone really become fluent just by following habits?
Absolutely. Habits are like small daily steps. Think of them as tiny pieces of a puzzle. If you do them consistently, day after day, week after week, they build up, and suddenly, boom, you're speaking English more naturally than ever.
I love that. And today, we'll not only explain the habits, but also give you practical tips and examples that you can start using right now.
And don't worry, we'll keep it fun and simple so even if you're a beginner, you can follow along.
So, whether you're listening at home, on your way to work, or relaxing in a cafe, grab a notebook and let's get started.
Yes, get ready to discover the 7 habits that can transform your English fluency.
So, Julia, before we jump into the 7 habits, let's talk about why habits are so important for fluency.
Yes, Jason. Many learners think fluency happens by just studying grammar or memorizing words, but that's not enough. Fluency comes from consistency, and that's where habits come in.
Exactly. You can think of habits as small daily actions. They might seem simple, like speaking 5 minutes a day or learning 3 new words, but over time, they add up.
Right. Imagine if you read just 1 page of an English book every day. 1 page doesn't seem like much, but in a month that's 30 pages. And in a year, it's 365 pages.
Wow, that really shows the power of small steps. And the same goes for speaking and listening. Even a few minutes every day can make a big difference.
Yes, and habits also train your brain to think in English automatically. When you make English a daily part of your life, it starts to feel natural. You don't have to struggle to form sentences anymore.
So, the key is to make English a part of your daily routine, like brushing your teeth or having breakfast. The more natural it becomes, the faster you'll improve.
Exactly. And in today's episode, we'll show you 7 habits that are easy to start, practical, and really effective for fluency.
Sounds exciting. Let's begin with the first habit. Speaking English every day. All right, Julia, here's the first habit. Speak English every day. Seems simple, right? But so many learners skip this step.
Yes, Jason. Many people study English but rarely speak it. That's a problem because fluency comes from practice, not just theory.
Exactly. Even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes a day, speaking regularly builds confidence and helps your brain think in English naturally.
I like to start small. For example, you can talk to yourself in English while doing daily activities, like describing what you're cooking or planning your day out loud.
That's a great tip. Another way is to find a language partner or join online groups where you can speak with others. Even short conversations help a lot.
And don't worry about making mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. The more you speak, the faster you improve.
Here's a quick example. Let's pretend we're ordering coffee in English.
Hi, I'd like a cup of coffee, please.
Sure. Would you like milk or sugar?
Just milk, thank you.
See? Even a simple conversation like this, if practiced every day, makes speaking English feel natural.
Exactly. So the key takeaway, speak English every day, even for a few minutes. Make it part of your daily routine.
Perfect. Now that we've got speaking covered, let's move to habit 2. Think in English.
Okay, Jason. Now we're moving to habit 2. Think in English. This is a big one because many learners struggle to speak fluently. They translate from their native language first.
Yes. And when you translate in your head, it slows you down. You might know the words, but forming sentences becomes harder.
Exactly. So the goal is to train your brain to think directly in English. For example, when you see a dog, instead of thinking or your native word first, just think dog.
Ah, I see. That makes your mind faster because you're skipping the translation step.
Right. One simple exercise is to narrate your day in English in your mind. For example, when making breakfast, you can think I'm cutting bread. I'm pouring milk into the cup. Now I'm sitting at the table.
That sounds simple, but very powerful. And you can even say it out loud if you want to combine this with habit 1, speaking every day.
Exactly. Another tip is to practice common phrases in your mind, like if you're going to the store, think I need to buy some fruits. I will ask the cashier politely.
I like that. And the best part is, the more you practice thinking in English, the more natural your speaking becomes. You start responding automatically without pausing to translate.
Yes, so remember, habit 2 is all about training your brain to think in English every day, even for a few minutes.
Perfect. Now that we know how to think in English, let's move to habit 3. Listen actively. All right, Julia, on to habit 3. Listen actively. Listening is a skill many learners forget about, but it's just as important as speaking.
Exactly. Listening isn't just hearing words, it's understanding, noticing pronunciation, rhythm, and how native speakers connect words.
Yes, passive listening, like playing music in the background, doesn't help much. You need active listening.
Right. Active listening means you focus completely on what's being said. For example, listen to a short English podcast or a YouTube video and try to repeat sentences or write down new words.
I like to do this with English shows. I pause after a sentence, repeat it out loud, and mimic the pronunciation and tone.
Yes. And another tip is to listen for key words and phrases instead of trying to understand every single word. This makes it easier and more fun for beginners.
Let's do a quick example. I'll say a sentence, and you try to repeat it exactly like me, Julia. I'm going to the market to buy some fresh fruits.
I'm going to the market to buy some fresh fruits.
Perfect. See? That's active listening in action. You're training your brain and mouth at the same time.
Yes, and over time, this habit helps you understand English faster and respond naturally in conversations.
So remember, habit 3 is all about listening actively, repeating what you hear, and noticing words and pronunciation. It's like giving your brain a workout in English.
Exactly. And the next habit we'll talk about is reading and learning new words, which builds your vocabulary even more. All right, Jason. Habit 4 is read and learn new words. This is super important because the more words you know, the easier it is to express yourself in English.
Absolutely. And reading is one of the best ways to learn new vocabulary naturally, because you see words in context, not just in a dictionary.
Yes, you can start with short stories, articles, or even social media posts in English. The key is to choose something interesting so you enjoy it.
And don't just read. Write down new words and try to use them in sentences. That way, You remember them better.
Exactly. For example, if you read the word delicious in a story, you can make your own sentence, "The pizza I ate yesterday was delicious."
Nice example. Another tip is to learn words in groups. For instance, words about food, travel, or daily routines. It's easier to remember them that way.
Yes, and you can even practice with a friend or a language partner. Try using your new words in a small conversation like this.
Julia, I tried a new recipe yesterday.
Oh, really? How was it?
It was delicious. I think you would like it.
Perfect. That's a fun way to practice new words naturally.
So, habit 4 is all about reading regularly, learning new words, and using them in real life. Even a few words every day make a huge difference over time.
Exactly. And next we'll talk about habit 5, practice writing, which strengthens both your speaking and thinking skills.
All right, Julia. Habit 5 is practice writing. Many learners focus only on speaking and listening, but writing is just as important for fluency.
Yes, Jason. Writing helps you organize your thoughts, remember new words, and improve grammar. Even short daily exercises make a big difference.
Exactly. You don't need to write essays. Small things work, like a diary entry, social media post, or even a short email in English.
For example, you can write about your day. Today I went to the park. I saw many birds and took some photos.
Nice. And the best part is, after writing, you can read it aloud. This way, you're combining writing with speaking practice.
Yes. Another tip is to use new words you've learned from reading or listening. That helps you remember them and use them naturally in conversations.
Let's do a mini example. Suppose I learned the words excited and adventure. I can write, I'm very excited about my weekend adventure.
Perfect. And then you can say it out loud or even share it with a friend for feedback. Writing plus speaking equals faster improvement.
So habit 5 is simple. Write something every day, even a few sentences, and try to use new words. Over time, this builds your confidence in both writing and speaking.
Exactly. And next we'll talk about habit 6, get feedback and correct mistakes, which is key to improving faster. All right, Jason, habit 6 is get feedback and correct mistakes. This is so important because many learners fear making mistakes, but mistakes are actually a great way to improve.
Absolutely, Julia. Mistakes show you what needs practice, and if you correct them, your English gets stronger and more natural.
Yes, and feedback can come from many sources: teachers, language partners, apps, or even friends who speak English.
For example, if you say, I go to market yesterday, a friend might correct you, I went to the market yesterday. That small correction teaches you the right past tense.
Exactly, and it's important to accept corrections positively instead of feeling embarrassed. Every mistake is a learning opportunity.
Another tip is to record yourself speaking and listen carefully. You'll notice mistakes in pronunciation or grammar that you can correct.
Yes, and here's a small exercise. Practice a sentence, make a deliberate mistake, and then correct it yourself. For example, he go to school every day. No, he goes to school every day.
That's a fun way to train your brain to notice errors and remember the correct forms.
So, habit 6 is all about getting feedback, correcting mistakes, and not being afraid of them. This habit accelerates your progress more than almost anything else.
Exactly. Now, let's move to the final habit. Habit 7. Stay motivated and track your progress. All right, Julia, here's our final habit. Stay motivated and track your progress. This is the secret to keeping all the other habits consistent.
Yes, Jason. Learning English can take time and sometimes it feels slow. That's why motivation is key. You need small wins to keep going.
Exactly. One way to stay motivated is to set small goals. For example, I will learn 5 new words today. Or, I will speak English for 10 minutes.
And don't forget to celebrate your progress. Even small improvements are a reason to feel proud and keep practicing.
Another tip is to track your progress. You can use a notebook, an app, or even a calendar. Each day you practice, mark it. Over time, seeing all the check marks motivates you to continue.
Yes, and you can also record yourself speaking weekly. When you listen to older recordings, you'll hear how much you've improved. It's very encouraging.
Exactly. Motivation plus tracking equals consistency, and consistency equals fluency.
So habit 7 is all about staying motivated, setting goals, and tracking your progress. Even a few minutes every day, done consistently, makes a huge difference.
Perfect. And now that we've covered all 7 habits, it's time for a quick recap before we give our listeners a small practice challenge. All right, Julia. Before we finish today's episode, let's do a quick recap of the 7 habits for fluency in English.
Yes. Habit 1. Speak English every day. Even a few minutes helps your brain get used to English.
Habit 2. Think in English. Stop translating in your head and start forming sentences directly in English.
Habit 3. Listen actively. Focus on podcasts, shows, and conversations, and repeat what you hear.
Habit 4. Read and learn new words. Expand your vocabulary and use the words in real sentences.
Habit 5. Practice writing. Even short sentences or diary entries help you organize thoughts and remember words.
Habit 6. Get feedback and correct mistakes. Don't fear mistakes. Learn from them and improve faster.
And finally, Habit 7. Stay motivated and track your progress. Set small goals, celebrate wins, and watch your improvement over time.
So remember, these 7 habits together make a powerful system for English fluency. You don't have to do everything at once. Start small, stay consistent, and you'll see progress.
Exactly. Even practicing just one habit every day can make a big difference over a few weeks.
Now that we've recapped, it's time for a small challenge for our listeners to put these habits into action.
All right, Jason, it's time for our practice challenge for all our listeners.
Yes, here's a simple challenge you can start today and continue for 1 week.
First, pick one habit from today's episode. Maybe speaking for 5 minutes, thinking in English, or writing a short diary entry.
Next, do it every day for the next 7 days. Even small practice counts. Remember, consistency is more important than duration.
And here's an extra tip. Track your progress. Mark each day on a calendar or in a notebook. Seeing your improvement will motivate you to keep going.
Exactly. And try to combine habits if you can. For example, after writing a few sentences, read them out loud to practice speaking, or listen to a short podcast and repeat phrases.
By the end of the week, you'll notice a small but powerful improvement. That's the magic of habits.
So, listeners, take this challenge, practice daily, and notice how your English becomes more natural and confident. And that's a wrap for today's episode on 7 habits for fluency in English.
Yes, we hope you enjoyed it and that you're ready to start practicing these habits every day.
Remember, fluency doesn't happen overnight. It's built step by step, habit by habit. So stay consistent and be patient with yourself.
And don't forget our 7-day practice challenge. Even small daily efforts make a big difference over time.
Thank you so much for listening. If you like this episode, subscribe to our podcast so you won't miss future tips and lessons.
Yes, and feel free to share your progress with us or leave a comment. We love hearing from you.
All right, everyone. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Goodbye and happy English learning.